Hello, agentpreneurs, and welcome to episode 100 of the Daily List Report. I am so grateful for all of our loyal viewers, our new viewers, all of your comments, engagement, all of your feedback, which have served to make this show better and better, hopefully, every single day. This started, as you know, as a labor of love during this shelter-in-place pandemic time where we felt like we need to talk to you. We need to arm our agents out there with the best tools and advice from other top agents and industry leaders. And I can't thank you enough for helping us get to this point. We are about to cross 3,000 subscribers. Most importantly for me in this show is engagement. We are going to cross 6,000 hours of watched video, which is something that is deeply meaningful to me, which means that many of you out there are enjoying this content and watching it, and I really hope learning from this content. Now, in commemoration of our 100th episode, we are doing another fun giveaway. There is a link below that I want you all to click on right now. You could pause the video or you could do it afterwards. Just don't forget, click on that video. We're going to give away three $100 gift cards. Three $100 gift cards. Now, all you have to do is click the link, subscribe to the channel, and you can also gain more entries by referring friends of yours. So if there are colleagues in your office, other agents out there, new agents, experienced agents that you think could benefit from this content, refer them and you'll get more entries into this contest. The contest is going to end next Friday and we're going to announce the winners on August 28th. So please continue to engage. Tell us what you love about this show. Let's celebrate this moment together, 100 episodes. We talked before about when you decide to commit to a platform, whether it's YouTube or Instagram or anything, commit to it. We've committed to this. Now 100 episodes in, every single day, 5 days a week for months now. And for us right now, there's no end in sight. As long as you continue to enjoy this content and engage and watch it, we are going to continue creating this for you. So today's show is going to be a little bit different. What we've done is we've compiled some of the best advice from our previous episodes. We've taken all of the amazing kernels of wisdom or inspiration or tutorials, technology, social media, whatever, and we've condensed all of that into one amazing episode. So first up, what we're going to do is we're going to review some of the best advice from real estate agents just like yourself. And maybe they're further along in their career. Maybe they're doing more business than you are, but that's why you're here, is to learn from the best of the best. So first up, we're going to go to some clips from some of our top agents who've come on and shared some amazing advice with you.
In the grand scheme of things, as you're seeing the instability of the stock marketplace, the inventory levels, the unknowns with COVID, that going into elections, all these things kind of say that it makes sense to be a part of the low supply, capitalize on the low interest rates now, not later, because you probably won't get as much. What we can expect across probably all of the inventory is some level of a correction that's going to occur right when things are kind of calming down and we've passed certain milestones in what we're all kind of working through here. There's incremental moments where you're able to add value, and the ripple effect from your referrals and things like that are just going to naturally feed you.
I have a few pro tips when you're making a video walkthrough. Now, the first few tips that I have for you guys is, number one, turn everything in the house on. Any lights, any ceiling fans, fireplace, anything that's going to highlight the home in a positive attribute. The second thing, get rid of distractions. If there's anything on those countertops that shouldn't be there or something that's sticking out of place, you're really going to want to put that away or hide it for your walkthrough when you're recording. The third thing, complement the areas as you're doing your walkthroughs. There's got to be something good that you want to highlight every single in every single space that you've got over there.
We all have baggage, emotional. I don't mean emotional more than anything, making excuses. So you have to set those excuses aside. Wake up in the morning and say, hey, what am I going to do today? I'm going to kick some butt today and get it done. So my advice is what I do every day. Make a list of the things that I want to do, and I check up on that. The second big thing I do is time block. And then, yes, the fires are going to come at you during the day. But if you have a basis of which these are the things that you want to accomplish, then you can get it done. I mean, mindset is a difficult thing. We all find motivation for that in different ways.
That's the whole point of being in real estate is outside of understanding your why and pursuing your passion, because without passion you'll fail, is knowing thy target. So if you don't have a target, you're going to hit some interesting things just by accident. With great coaching, I was able to come up with the win the day formula. So, how do you win the day? How do you know you win the day? What is winning the day? If you're not winning the day, you're losing the day. Because time's all you got.
Right.
And it depends how you structure it and then how disciplined you are in that structure process. So winning the day to me is a fundamental. In this business, it's important to take breaks. It's important to know when to plug in and when to unplug. The truth is you don't win the day every day. Through that process and through tracking your numbers, you're going to find out where your strengths and weaknesses are.
I do plan. I just allow the flexibility for life, and I allow for that room to take place in order to bring me to some place that's better than what I expected, because life is always looking for the upgrade. That opportunity and success comes from a direction you're not looking or expecting, and often comes in the form of failure, apparent failure. And that's the trick of success, is overcoming that discouragement, overcoming that disappointment, and knowing that that it's happening anyway. Don't just go do tasks without having your vision. Do your vision, then the tasks will start making sense and they'll start lining up. Opportunities will begin to happen that you weren't expecting. But I recognized, having been through this enough, it's easier to recognize the promptings than it was when I first started, because I don't operate in fear mode anymore. But it takes the same amount of choice and internal power to worry about the future in a bad way, or to learn how to expect the best of the future in a good way. It's my choice. But we default, I think, through the way our upbringing, to expect that bad things are going to happen versus good things are going to happen.
I think sometimes people equate responsibility and blame in the same kind of category, and that's not. Responsibility means you have ownership over the entire organization, and you have to be responsible for it, because the only way you're going to get people to respond and do the things that are necessary in the organization is if they believe that you truly own the organization and that you are taking responsibility for everything that happens in that. That so much of decision making and leadership, right, is about taking the information you have at hand and making the best decision you can, and not judging whether the decision was the correct one based on the outcome, because oftentimes you can't control the outcome.
So even if you start out with, like, I'm going to trust me and I'm going to trust myself, I'm going to read the room and I'm going to make a choice. I'm going to make a decision, and you have to go with it, because ultimately things like that, they become time suckers. And sometimes the right thing is just saying no and knowing what's best for yourself.
People watching this, you should use whatever influence you have, whether it's small or large, to continue to grow that influence and help other people be influential and do more business. I say, if you want to be interesting, you have to be also interested in what other people are doing. So my suggestion is follow.
My MO of having to put myself out there for the past 5 to 7 years during the rise of social media, I have to adjust myself now again to understanding what the cultural zeitgeist is. And it's more private, it's more procured, it's more a curated sphere.
Wow, that was great. It's great for me to watch this, because I get to think back on all of these, I guess selfishly, all of these amazing conversations that I've been able to have with agents across the country who, I want to point this out, and this is an important lesson, I think, for everybody. Each one of them has found success. And what are they doing when they come on this show? They're sharing what they've learned. They're sharing the mistakes that they've made. They're sharing their playbook. And you're going to use this information to create your own playbook, to find your own approach. But how great is it to be in an industry where we have people who are sharing their wisdom and their knowledge so freely so that all of you can learn to be better agents, because all of us are in this business ultimately to serve our customers and to help somebody realize the dream of home ownership, which is such an impactful thing on someone's life. And financially, it is the greatest generator of net worth, right? It is the greatest wealth creator, because after your 30 years of your mortgage, right, you've got equity in that home, hopefully, and that equity is something that you can tap into in your later years. So really appreciate, and a big shout out to all the agents who've come on this show. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to do some clips from our marketing guests, right? So these are guests who've come on and have talked about, oh, how do I market myself better? How do I build my brand better, right? This is an important topic, I should say, that is near and dear to my heart, because what I want all of you out there to do is to deeply understand and be thoughtful about who you are and what your brand is, and then find the right channels to put that brand out there, because people ultimately are hiring you. They're not hiring your company, they're hiring you. And everything that you can do to make sure that you are true to who you are and that you have the confidence to put your brand out there in a way that resonates with people. Not everybody, importantly, not everybody's going to resonate with that, and that's okay. But you're going to find somebody, you're going to find lots of people who connect with you, and that's where your business starts to build. So without further ado, let's go to some of these great clips.
It really started off with focusing on something, right? Picking something that you're going to be good at. Figure out how to make it happen in this kind of market, or you really should exit the market, right? Because real estate is all about ups and downs. I think
Mark,
Gary Keller says it best in his book, right? I think it's called Shift. And it's
right.
about rolling with the times and the market. And here we go. This is another dip in the market, and it's just, everyone knows it's going to come back. You need to learn or figure out what you're going to be number one at, right? So I said to my founder, I said, what are we going to be known for? And are we going to be are we going to be the best brokerage in San Francisco or the biggest? No, we can't be, right? It's an established place with lots of top competitors. Can we be the top brokerage in our area? Yes. Can we be known to be a millennial urban tech brand as well? Sure. So we focused and doubled down on that one thing, which was being the top brokerage in our area, but also being known for tech, being known for innovative branding, being known for something, right? Being known and different.
Don't freak out about the numbers. We are seeing unprecedented, hopefully once in a lifetime numbers that if all you do is pay attention to the negative, you can get overwhelmed by it. The market demand for housing far outpaced the available supply, and I think once we get through this, and jobs start to be filled again, you're going to see a return of that demand. So this is not a question of if, it's a question of when. And the challenge right now is survival, candidly. If there are two things I'm telling people. One is, make sure you have enough cash on hand to get through.
Yeah.
But the other is, if you can afford to do it, make sure you stay as present and visible as humanly possible. I'm following my own advice. I've been more active on social media, more active doing these kind of conversations than I had been before the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for people who can do that, my experience in every market segment I've ever been involved in is that people that market, people that stay visible and stay active through a recession, typically gain share of market from their competition once the downturn is over. So stay connected, stay informed, stay on top of your game. Don't push your clients, but make sure that they know you're ready when they are to restart the engine of housing commerce.
There is no one solution fits all. You have to think about, what do you want this account for? To really hone in on what your niche is. I do this exercise with startups that I mentor as well. Think about the type of content you want to create. Always revert back to 3 adjectives that most describe yourself or your brand, right? If you can come up with those 3, then chances are you won't run out of content to post. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to, be all decked out in order to produce a perfect, a great engaging piece of content. I think going back to being authentic and being who you are, that's actually the norm. And that's what people want to see.
The thing, like with a lot of top agents, there's lots of them, right? They're not on social media. They're selling 100 homes a year, but people don't know how they do it. For me, I teach people how I sell it, and then more people want to work with me, and then more agents want to work with me. I end up selling more homes. So I'm truly using social media to not just build my brand. My brand is being a thought leader and a team, like someone just super knowledgeable about the market, marketing and branding systems, all this, right? Like stuff like this, talking to smart people all day. But that's my brand, and that's how I'm able to draw a lot of people to want to follow my brand.
The technology is now enabling that. I think a lot of companies resisted it because it was change. Now that change is being forced upon us, and so we're embracing it, right? We don't have a choice, right? It's change or die. The biggest asset we all have, the biggest asset you have, the biggest asset I have is human capital, right? It's our team, it's our family. I mean, that's the biggest asset we have. You've got to treat them the way they need to be treated.
You have to be authentic and genuine in whatever it is that you're doing or that you're saying. So for me, every single video that I have created has been intentional for me wanting to help someone else. Yeah. Now, when I started to create videos, my goal was not to become a YouTuber. I mean, I'm still a real estate agent, but I wanted to educate others because I wasn't finding a lot of the information that I was looking for. So if I'm able to narrow down, get the main information that helped me and put it out there to help others, it might happen that eventually I might have to work with another agent. And if they watch my videos, they know exactly how I work, how things get done. And the less headaches that we have, the better it is for everyone.
Consistency is really important. So just like a YouTube channel, right, and video content, social media isn't something that you can just dabble in. You need to be consistent about it. So post consistent content, post it regularly, build themes in that. Your content strategy may change over time, and right now there's a lot to talk about, frankly, but program this out. You can actually sit down on a piece of paper in a spreadsheet and you can say, okay, on Mondays I'm going to do this type of content, Tuesdays, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And with the ListReport shareables, if you like them, use them. If you don't, I wish you liked them. But that's another thing that you can throw into the mix to mix up the content and create really engaging and compelling content. But you're going to have to interact with your current followers. You're going to want to use popular hashtags, and you're going to want to collaborate with your team. Start a conversation by using captions in your photos to ask questions that people can respond to in the comments. Establish yourself as the area expert. Share your personal experience with the area, show off the highlights of the area, and build credibility so your listings stand out. So again, right, marketing is key. Building your brand is key. And all of the great channels that we have available, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of these services that are out there are all ways for you to stay top of mind with your consumers. But it starts with you deeply understanding who you are and what your brand is, whether it's a military angle or it's a pro surfer angle or whatever it might be. You have to find that niche. You have to find that angle because, again, if you're not known for something, you're not known for anything. And it takes a high degree of confidence to put yourself in that position and to be able to step out there and say, look, this is who I am. This is who I serve, knowing that not everybody's going to resonate with that message. And again, that is okay. Now, if I look back on our episodes, right, 99 episodes prior to this, some of our most popular episodes have been these tech tips because for a lot of you out there, some of you are hobbyists and you just like technology, right? Being a real estate, we call you agentpreneurs for a reason, right? You're doing lots of different jobs. And so finding cool things like gimbals and cool apps that help you record better video. All of these tech tips are super valuable. So what we've done is we've put together a small collection of some of these great tech tips that you can watch right now. The ease of shareables, right? This idea that with 1 or 2 clicks you can put something out into the world that will help grow your brand from a social media perspective. And could we apply that to the concept of listings, right? So could we make sharing a package of listings because people love looking at homes? And could we make that as easy as a shareable?
Whether you're looking for a home or not, people love looking at homes. As you mentioned, there's the looky-loos, it can be a powerful thing. You know, a looky-loo can very easily turn into an active buyer if they see something that catches their eye.
Absolutely.
And, you know, part of what was great behind some of the ideas behind list packs and the ability to share them easily with buyers and with social media.
Well, if you think about video conferencing today, all it's doing is delivering you video conferencing, right? But in reality, you don't just video conference. As a real estate agent or a loan officer, you have a series of what we call workflows that you work through. And we're taking each individual workflow that you need to do your job, and we're going to make all of that information beautifully presentable to consumers in a one-click kind of way.
So I think the message is this is just the beginning. And again, you know, ListReports users, right, agents, you have access to this product today.
So the new ListReports Live feature is super easy to access. We've given you 2 quick ways. One is you're going to see the ListReports Live tab right here, directly underneath this other pretty cool tab called List Packs. And you'll also see this ListReports Live box right here.
Real estate agents are uniquely positioned relative to folks in other industries to function to a high standard during this whole COVID crisis, right? Because they're used to working from home. They're used to being, you know, sort of remote and only going into the office periodically for signings or, you know, whatever that may be. So that's actually a leg up that, you know, real estate agents have as a whole compared to a lot of other industries. As you get back to your new normal after the COVID crisis ends, you know, think long and hard about what you want your new normal to be. Don't necessarily bring back all of your bad habits as well. Everybody is going to be a lot more sort of, you know, a lot more intelligent about like how they use this virtual technology, because now it's a lot more commonplace.
There's so much efficiency that you gain from that, right? But if you could reach out to a prospect and say, hey, let's hop on a Zoom, let's hop on a virtual, you know, meeting, and let's have this discussion. Let me show you some homes virtually. Let me tell you why I'm a great agent. And that for the consumer not to feel like, oh, I'm not important enough for you to come visit me, but rather to say, this is the way better way to do it because I don't have to get ready and I don't have to drive and all of those things.
So what virtual staging and virtual renovation is that we take pictures of the properties that our agents are looking to market, and we use the latest and greatest digital image processing and 3D design technologies to enhance those pictures so our agents are able to showcase the potential of the properties to the buyers. It gives you an immense ability to take the pictures that you have and really use them to show that what you could do with this property when you put some love and care into it, and that instantly boosts the property appeal. That has proven to increase the showings and inquiries. Vacant homes and poorly furnished homes generally take longer to sell and sell for just less money than they should. So that's where our technology comes in. It's a very lightweight, frictionless, quick and efficient way to show that what the house could truly look like, what the property could look like, without having to bring in the furniture and the contractors, especially in this time that we're in. So absolutely, I mean, this is really a tool that a listing agent has in their pocket to help the potential buyers see past the either the house being vacant or just poorly furnished or just being really dated.
What is a gimbal? A gimbal is basically a device that rotates a camera on a single axis, and none of that really matters. All you need to know as a real estate agent is that for basically $100, $140, you can get a piece of equipment that is going to make your video look incredible. And I'm going to show you some examples of that in just a moment.
So let's say that you wanted to walk a neighborhood and talk. On the bottom of the screen, I've got a phone inside of the gimbal. On the top of the screen, I am holding another phone as I walk, same everything. I've got one phone in one hand using a gimbal, the other phone in another hand, just freehand as you would if you didn't have a gimbal. And there's a pretty significant difference in terms of the amount of smoothness that you see in the gimbal video versus the standard video, because the standard video is just taking each one of the steps I have and the camera's moving.
So I really love these 2 templates because you can put multiple videos on them. So again, you can create your own or you can use a pre-made one. These are both pre-made that I've just kind of added a little bit of sample text and then the videos that I wanted to use. And what's awesome about this is I'll play them for you in a moment, but when you download them, these videos all play at the same time. And so what you're doing is you're giving your followers the chance to see multiple rooms in a house, and whether that's clips from a virtual virtual open house. So you've taken videos extensively for this purpose. Here's a way to repurpose them for free, eye-catching, getting more people's attention, giving them more information, and getting your listing out there.
Technology is more accessible than it has ever been before. Technology is more inexpensive than it ever has been before. And so whether you are creating your own Matterport, or you're using an app to help you use both of your cameras, or you're buying a gimbal so you can take better video, anything that you can do to make yourself look good in front of the camera, right? Anything you can do to make sure that the experience that your consumers have out there is really positive, because they get to know who you are, but they get to see the content front and center. These things are available with our own, or our phones, with these really cheap devices, right? I've been recording now 100 episodes of this show on the same phone that I carry around all day for my email and my phone calls and my text messages and my social media. I don't have a fancy setup here. I have an iPhone that I'm looking into every single day to talk to all of you. So this technology is accessible. It's not that scary. Give it a shot. You don't have to make a big investment to try these things out. Okay. So we've gone through this period of great uncertainty, right? Lots of uncertainty right now. And what we've tried to do is to give you some great, we hope, financial advice. So it started with, the PPP loans, and we had Omri on talking about how to get access to that money, how to get forgiveness on that money. And so, financial advice is something that we think about a lot, because we want to make sure that all of you are setting yourselves up for success, that all of you are putting yourselves in a position to maintain financial viability, whether that means cutting back on costs, reevaluating your costs, getting access to some of these government programs that have been available to help us sort of, get through this period of time. And so we're going to share a little bit of advice right now on the financial side. And so let's go to that now.
I'll look at everything that you'd consider essential to your business right now, everything that you are spending money on, and cut everything that is not essential. The market has changed so much between buyers and sellers, and the reluctance to go inside of properties or open houses and everything else. We're all reading about virtual marketing, virtual tours, really great marketing. Invest in that sort of thing, because it's not just right now, it's immediate, but it's going to be gradual as we come out of this. People's perspectives are going to change, and their comfort levels aren't going to immediately spring back. And to the extent as an agent that you've taken the time now to invest in that stuff, to make people practice business in a way that they're going to become more comfortable in, I think just the better.
And there is a unique opportunity right now to double down on what you're doing in all of the right ways and to come out of this stronger. It's all about the mindset.
It's either you're going to figure out how to make it happen in this kind of market, or you really should exit the market, right? Because real estate is all about ups and downs. I think Gary Keller says it best in his book, right? I think it's called Shift. And it's about rolling with the times and the market. And here we go. This is another dip in the market, and it's just, everyone knows it's going to come back. You need to be number one at something, and you just got to keep subdividing your target until you get to that point. Not every seller is going to go look and just say, okay, who is the top agent in this building or area? It's about how are you going to stand out and be different? Really, it doesn't necessarily, so best doesn't mean just top seller. How are you going to stand out?
So as we said, it's very important to manage cash flows, both personally and professionally, and especially now in these times of uncertainty. We don't know how long the economic events will last, so we're in for quite an interesting ride.
The critical thing here, right, is that if you're having any hardship, that you don't just disappear, because if you're not talking to your partners, to your vendors, to your creditors, then they're going to assume the worst. If you're talking to them, they are going to be flexible with you.
We all have to learn how to save more money. And part of that is based upon the volume and the pace at which technology is changing. There's a certain industry reluctance to stay in your lane. Well, I think the most successful agents are going to realize that they're going to have to put their turn signal on a little bit and move this direction.
Lastly, here's what we're going to do. We've had a number of guests who are just so motivational, and all of us need this kick in the butt, right? Where we sit there and we watch somebody who's like man, I wake up at 4 a.m. and I go to the gym and then I make 100 phone calls and whatever the things are that they do, right? There's a level of motivation, intrinsic motivation that some people have that is frankly quite inspiring. And most of us need that, right? This is why, we have coaches. This is why we have mentors, right? This is why people follow inspirational leaders. This is why people play certain types of music in the background. It gets us moving. It gets our blood pumping. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to share some top motivational moments from some of the episodes that we've had, because we've had some really inspiring guests. And these are people that you can consider following if you like their message, if they resonate with you. Again, these people have found their own brand, right? Their own sort of position in this world. And that's not going to work for everybody, but if it works for you, these are people that you should consider following and being inspired by, and starting your day with their videos or their tips in the same way that hopefully you start your day with our videos and our tips. So let's cut to some of those right now. You have to be known for something, but that doesn't mean that you can't have fun with it. The best thing that you can do to build your brand, in my opinion at least, is to be yourself.
You just get out there. There is a lot of fear out there from agents that I notice. There are some that just feel like they can't do real estate and are using this as an excuse to stay inside and maybe not do the normal things that they would be accustomed to doing. That's one aspect. And then the other side is there's some that are out there just working it. In this time as an agent, it's so easy to just watch Ozark until you're done with it. It's so easy to not wake up until 11 or 12 because you think there's nothing going on. But if you can, keep a schedule and get out there, you can still do well. And more than anything, be creative with doing different things, doing virtual open houses. As I say, it's the new norm.
So first, if you're not saying stuff positive to yourself, your brain's probably telling something negative, and you need to offset that anyway. It starts with reading. It's what you put into your mind every day. It's what you tell yourself.
It's an important part of this, right? Like you said, getting yourself pumped up, whatever that is. It could be music, it could be podcasts, it could be looking yourself in the mirror, right? Whatever works for you to stay away from the negativity, stay away from negative people.
And your mind can be such a scary place to be. That's the thing is, I don't believe that any of us are immune to negative thoughts. It just depends how you battle them. When you know who you are inside, you're able to create your own affirmation. That's what I encourage everyone to do. As long as you can have some sort of repetitive thought. The idea here is to take that negative thought and just basically squish it with this and overcome it with this positive thought until the negative thought just goes away, and you keep repeating, and then all of a sudden it's gone and you get to move on in life. And I think that's applicable to everything.
Positive emotions help us broaden our thinking and move us to a more solutions-oriented state. When we're stressed, whether the threat is real or perceived, we literally narrow. So our vision and our thinking, it narrows. We're bombarded with stressors that are not real threats all the time. We need to cultivate our positive emotions. One of the most researched positive emotions is gratitude. Gratitude increases our happiness. It has a positive impact on our physiological well-being. It improves our relationships, increases our optimism, and is a gateway really to finding meaning and purpose in life. The bottom line here is to always remember that we have more control than we think we do, and to focus not on the things that we can't control, but to let those go and to really funnel our energy, our time, our resources into the things that we can control. Our time, energy, those things, those are finite resources. So to be resilient, we need to let go of those things that we can't control and really focus on what we can do. And two simple exercises here. One is called I Can Handle It. And so it's a positive reflection on a prior adversity. So you identify something that was challenging for you in the past, that you endured and overcame. You reflect on that, identify what did you learn, how did you grow, what strengths or qualities did you use, and how might those things be of service to you right now, today? We have a finite amount of time and energy, and there's a leak at the bottom, right? And there are things that deplete us: stress, sleep deprivation, making decisions, needing to multitask, things like that. And that will drain our bucket faster. So we need to focus on what fills us up. So we're kind of mitigating those things throughout the day.
Destination is an illusion. You never arrive anywhere. Our life journey is to go from goal to goal experience to experience, character building to character building. So you're constantly in this fluid movement of recycling your life. And that's another thing that we can get stuck in fear, is that when we do decide that we want something, know this, something has to leave your life. And it may have been something that you really liked, but that's how life and achievement and goals work. It's easy to become burnout. It's easy to lose your way. And that's part of, you know, I want to say it's okay to reinvent yourself. It's okay to start from zero. It's okay to fire yourself and start over again. You don't have to worry about catching up. Just, you know, sometimes we have to fall in love with working. We have to fall in love with our goals and what we do. And you know what? When you spend 15, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years in a career, it's easy to get in a rut, because a lot of what we experience, or what we think is one feeling, is actually attached to the opposite end of another feeling. So passion, you know, is just a degree of no passion. You know, that the temperature needs to rise.
We don't get to choose whether we're going to adopt technology anymore. You're going to adopt technology, or you're going to become irrelevant. Technology is never going to replace realtors or loan officers. Let me say that clearly. Technology will never, ever replace realtors and loan officers. However, loan officers and realtors who adopt technology at a very high level will replace loan officers and realtors who don't.
And that's the mindset that we've been talking a lot about, is that mindset of saying, I'm going to come out of this better than I entered it.
And I hear a lot of realtors saying there's no buyers, there's no sellers, none of that is true, right? There's lots of homeowners that want to sell their house. There's lots of people that want to buy a house. As a realtor, as a real estate agent, your role is to be that advice. And at the end of the day, what we all have to remember is, as Americans, we are all in this together. We will come out of this. I'm not saying there's no pain. There's pain. What I'm saying is the mortgage industry, the lending industry, is looking at statistics and coming back in with more liquidity, saying we're going to get through this. You know, we're all blessed to be in an industry that's booming right now, right? I don't know anybody in the mortgage industry complaining right now, right? We're all in a very blessed place. Our industry is very blessed. You know, does this change things? Temporarily, you know, you're going to see things ease a little bit, but no, control what you can control. The things that we can't control are many. There's a tremendous amount of things that we cannot control. And if you focus on those things, you're going to be broke.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. You're going to be broke.
Okay, so now we have a little bit of a surprise, I would say mostly for me, I guess for you because you haven't seen this yet, which is our behind the scenes crew has put together what they're calling a blooper reel. I haven't seen this thing yet, but they wanted me to record this message, and then they're going to cut this thing in, and then we'll all be surprised together. We've had a lot of craziness on this show, and as we've talked about quite a bit, look, when you start doing content, your first videos are terrible. Half the time I had the audio off and I'm talking and it didn't make any sense. It didn't work so well. We had camera issues, all sorts of stuff. But they put together a short blooper reel, and I guess we'll play that right now.
Hello, agentpreneurs, and welcome to episode 100 of the Daily List Report. Can you believe we've had 100 episodes so far? Today, we have another great guest for you. His name is Randy Shiozaki, and he's going to be talking about something he's very passionate about. But first, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the little bell so you never miss a video. And without further ado, here's Randy.
Thanks so much, Dr. Lee. We'll talk to you soon.
Hi, guys.
Well, there you have it. So there you have it. So there you have it. That was great. All right. So there you have it. So there you have it, right? Well, there you have it. There you have it. Well, there you have it. So there you have it. Oh my gosh, I totally tripped over it again. This is the blooper reel. Okay. Well, there you have it. Well, I guess the only thing I can say is there you have it. It's funny, right? You record these things over and over again. You don't realize the things that you say time and time again. I have my sign off now, right? But I guess I say that quite a bit. So that was pretty funny. Thank you, team, for putting that together. That gave me a really good laugh. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. You know, we're doing this for you, and we're still doing this because of you, because of your viewership, because of your engagement, because of, you know, how we've heard from you that this helps you. This is a great way to start your day, and you like the variety of content. One day we do a tech tip, and then we do an interview with an industry leader or an interview with a top agent, or we talk about our products, right? There's all sorts of things that we get to talk about on the show, and I love that variety, and it looks like that you do as well. Don't forget to enter this contest, right? Click on that link below. We'll put it in the description, we'll put it in the comments. You won't be able to miss it. Click it. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you enter this contest. Make sure you refer some friends. Help us grow this audience. The more people we have watching, right? This is about giving back in the same way that the guests who come on here as top agents are giving back. Help give back to your fellow agents by inviting them to this program, because, you know, hopefully they're going to find this content useful and helpful. And, you know, here we are 100 episodes in. You know, I'm just so grateful for all of you, for your time and your attention and your thoughtfulness. We couldn't be here, like I said, without you. And I guess, you know, here's to the next 100 episodes. It's too early in the day to have a glass of champagne, but I'll use my cup of coffee and we'll say cheers. Thank you all so much. And here's to the next 100 episodes. So, agentpreneurs, from the bottom of my heart, until tomorrow, be safe, be happy, be healthy, and we're going to see you real soon. Bye.